I tried to warn them. I told them, I said, we served them earlier. They were at our bar. You probably shouldn't mess with any of them. They're probably all married.
These two single besties went out on the town to have a good time. And they did have a good time until they posted the video and received instant backlash from the internet. Michaela is the blonde, the brunette, I don't know her name. But the brunette is the one who was dancing with this man, Mike, all night, even making out, which is seen in the video. Michaela, who has over 100,000 followers, was like, let me post this video so we can try to find Mike. Because the brunette says, oh, this is my soulmate. This is my future husband. Please, internet, help me find Mike. The caption reads, my friend found her soulmate last night in Huntsville, Alabama after the Lineman Rodeo, and we know nothing about him except his name is Mike. His friends kept calling him, like the birds in Finding Nemo, Mike, 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 help us get Nemo home. As corny as this is, it could be seen as wholesome, although there's a couple of red flags right off the bat. If he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to see you again,
he would have found a way
to see you again on his own accord. He would have made sure you had his number and he would have gotten your number. He would have texted you. He would have called you. He would have found you already. And the fact that he didn't do that and you felt the need to try to find him this way, that's a red flag. To me, right? These are grown adults. If he wanted you to find him, he never would have been lost. My friend found her soulmate last night in Huntsville, Alabama, after the Lineman Rodeo, and we know nothing about him except his name is Mike. That is so sweet. Hi, I'm his wife. Red flag number 2. He clearly has the tattoo of a wedding band on his finger. Now, sometimes people get married, get the wedding band tattoo, not me. These are letters. These are knuckle tattoos. Man, I was shit-faced when I got them. They say doll face, okay? Moving on. So maybe he had been married previously and just never got the tattoo removed or covered up, but he's now divorced. But wouldn't he have told you that? So the video starts gaining traction. By the way, I just checked it before I turned on my camera. 17 something million views. Over 17 million views. But within the first few hours of this video taking off, guess who pops up in the comments? Hi, I'm his wife. He's busy explaining this to our 2 children right now. That's him, the guy who I said forever to over 10 years ago. And people are like, how do we know this is the wife? She has him in her profile picture. My life has been completely turned upside down and I've never been in a situation like this. My faith will carry me through this. I won't be checking my updates anymore. Thank you to everyone for your loving, encouraging words and prayers. Please keep them coming as I'm in absolute shambles, spending time healing and being with my kids. Oh yeah, that would be Mike's wife, Laura. So after the comment goes viral as well, Michaela and her friend, the brunette, the one who was making out with Mike, I feel like I should know her name by now, but I don't. We're just gonna call her the brunette. So the internet starts going in on this girl. And they're saying things like, you had to have known he was married. Why didn't you ask him if he was married? You didn't see that tattoo ring on his finger. If he wanted to, he would. And apparently she did have his number. So if you had his number, why didn't you just text him? And if you did text him and he wasn't replying,
what do we think that means?
Either he didn't want to talk to you again just because he didn't really like you. He didn't think you were his soulmate the way you did. Or he has a girlfriend. Or he's married. And maybe she didn't notice it. Maybe she was a little buzzed and just having such a good time that she didn't look. But if you're watching the video back, surely you see it then, No? So Michaela and the brunette get on to make an explanation video, essentially. And boy, it is 17 minutes long. I'm gonna edit a lot of it out, don't worry. Because it's a lot of like, but like.
We are here to answer some questions. We do want to preface this with, we're not sharing any more pictures or videos that have been posted already. Ones that are already posted are already all over the internet.
Sorry, Laura. I did not know.
We did not know that he was married.
We were just out having a silly Saturday.
Okay, so here's the deal. Everybody was commenting about the place and all that kind of stuff. We did not go to the Lineman Rodeo. Jefferson is a place that we hang out with our friends a lot. We're both local to Huntsville and we're from the area.
I know, if you know me, I'm a social butterfly, especially me and my friends. if you're chit-chatting us up, we're going to chit-chat back.
But it can stay there. Like and it doesn't have to ever go beyond that. And it never does. And then this like magic moment happened, felt like a magic moment. And it ended up being a very tragic moment. We're going to answer some questions first. A couple questions was a lot of people were saying that he had a tattoo of an L. Some people were saying he had a tattoo of a wedding band. Some people were saying he had on a wedding band. I'm going to insert the picture that has already been posted, that was posted before he said, or before his wife said that he was married. He does have a tattoo on the ring finger. The man was covered in tattoos. So is Cheyenne, including her finger. It never occurred to be like, is that a wedding band? No, obviously it was not a wedding band. And her name, if the girl, assuming that all is accurate in the comments, her name is Laura, and it is not even in the shape of an L.
So according to the wife in the comments, it's not a wedding band tattoo, it's her initials. Ugh, and it's on his wedding finger. But you didn't know he even had a wife, so you wouldn't know her name was Laura to even be like, well, that's not an L, so clearly, like, that doesn't make sense at all. You could see that there's a tattoo on the wedding finger, which usually indicates some sort of commitment of some kind at least. But still, I'm not saying, oh, she definitely knew. Because some people are taking it as far as to say, not only did you know, you should have known, and you did know, you posted that video on purpose to try to cause problems, to hurt the wife, to try to ruin his marriage, because you thought this was the love of your life. Now, I'm not going to take it that far in saying this is premeditated, although we're going to hear from one of the bartenders that night who shed some interesting light on the situation.
Hi, okay, so my name is Erica. I was at the bar when Mike, the lineman, was doing what he was doing.
His friends were trying to get his attention and tell him he has a wife. No, this was happening before he ever came over to where we were standing.
That I don't believe whatsoever. His friends were trying to say Mike, Mike, Mike to tell him, remind him he had a wife. No, I don't believe that at all. I think they were laughing and kikiing, and they were definitely being his, what do they call it? Your wingman. These men, these co-workers, did not care if Mike cheated on his wife. They might have been laughing about it, like, we know he's married, but they were not trying to prevent him from cheating on his wife. That I'll never believe.
No, this was happening before he ever came over to where we were standing.
This started as soon as they walked in the bar.
Because it was very loud and obnoxious in a funny way. It was, and then everybody started doing it that was with their group of like linemen. It was really funny. One of his friends said, if y'all start it, other people will do it. So we were jokingly going right, and they were all doing it, and he was eating it up. It was honestly really funny.
That's not funny. That's annoying.
We got to the next place. He introduced me to one of his friends. His name was Billy. And he was like, this is Billy. This is my friend. He's really cool. I shake Billy's hand. And I say, literally, strike me dead if I'm lying. I said, nice to meet you. Billy's wearing a wedding band. Did I not say that?
That's her
exact words. So I don't know who Billy is, but he was like, I'm not married. How much you want to bet I'm not married? And I was like, I don't want to bet. I don't care. You're married. I see your wedding band. And he was like, you want to know why I'm wearing it?
But you're talking about a completely different person named Billy. We don't care about Billy.
There were plenty of opportunities for him to let it be known.
Well, I just wanted you to be with somebody because I was hanging out with him and I was basically third wheeling him and Cheyenne all night. And he was like,
Great wing woman.
he was like, you're a great ring woman.
Told him to put his number in your phone.
Sent him the picture.
Right. That happened, and they all said that they were going to Whiskey Bottom or trying to get Mike to go with them. And I told Mike, I said, well,
You don't do that.
I told Mike, I was like, well, let me put my number in your phone so you can text me.
So they had his number. You had his phone number. And you could have texted him and said, it's me, Cheyenne. I've learned her name since we've started. Michaela, Cheyenne. Cheyenne is the one who is making out with Mike. Mike is the man who's married. And they're linemen. Mike is a lineman. Whatever. You had his number. You could have texted him. And I'm sure you did. And when he didn't text you back.
What did that mean?
What do we think that means? I know what that means. If a man is ghosting me, he's not texting me back, I could see the impulse to be like, let me post this video and maybe it'll get him to give me attention and text me back. I can see the impulse in that because I've been there mentally when I was younger. These girls are younger. But why didn't your best friend Michaela say, hey, Cheyenne, if he's not texting you back, that's not what Michaela did she? Michaela's the one with the platform, not you. Michaela said, hey, I have 100,000 followers. Actually, I don't know how many followers she had before she posted that video because that video got 17 million views. So, but she had followers before this, because she said, I'm the one with a platform. I have a platform. Let me see if I can get this video out and we can find Mike. As a good friend, you need to be the voice of reason and be like, if he wanted to, he would. And if he's not texting you back, he's probably married or has a girlfriend at home. Or he just, you know, if you don't want to hurt her feelings, to be like, maybe it's Theo, he didn't like you. I would have just said, no, I think you wanted the views, Michaela. Michaela, I think you wanted the views. You like the views now. You like the traction that it's getting to your platform. Fine. I'm a businesswoman. I get it. And it's not really you that's getting torn to shreds, right? It's Cheyenne. Maybe Cheyenne is just gullible, naive, and dumb. And she really didn't think that the man was married.
I was spitting spitballs at random strangers. And they will tell you I was doing that because I was doing that.
She does it everywhere.
Call me childish, call me whatever you want to.
Or
But don't
or anything. You could just be nice and not say anything other than this is a really unfortunate situation. We wish that it had not happened. In retrospect, I wish I had not posted the video because it was never meant to hurt anybody.
No.
It did, unfortunately, but I cannot take it back. It has a bajillion views and it's never going to go anywhere. It lives on the internet forever. It was intended to be in good fun. Help us find Cheyenne's man. He was the love of her life. It was supposed to be funny, like those random airport videos that you see a stranger and you're like, this man's going to be my husband. Who is he? Somebody please help me find him. It was supposed to be funny, and it's not. And we take responsibility for the parts that we played, and I'm really sorry that that's how Laura found out, and I'm sorry that a bajillion people also found out in the process.
Then we hear from a bartender who was working that night, and she said, I told Michaela and Cheyenne not to talk to that group of linemen because they are all married.
Hi. Okay. So my name is Erica. I was at the bar when Mike, the lineman, was doing what he was doing, meeting his soulmate or whatever. So, a little context, a little backstory. I'm a bartender downtown. So I also served Mike and his group of friends earlier in the night around like 7:30 something or other like that. Me and my fellow bartender, once we closed our bar, we ended up going out for a nightcap and ran into that group again. All the while, like, mind you, while they were at our bar, some of them like had women with them already, like their wives or girlfriends already with them. And then there was a few of them who, we could tell that they carried themselves the way a husband would, if you will. Like they weren't overly flirty with, me or my coworker or anything like that.
Bartenders know all. I used to be a bartender at a strip club. I knew all. I was a stripper too. I'm just saying. Strippers know all as well.
As they they have a few drinks at our bar, and when they're getting ready to go and hop around, they ask us where they should go. We give them a couple of places. Specifically, a guy named Holden asked for places to go pick up girls, and he said, and I was like, well, didn't you say like earlier that you had were married or like had a girlfriend or something? Like I remember like bartender ears. I'm here and I can hear what you're talking about. And he was like, no, that's them. That's them. They have girlfriends, and at this point in time, I had barely talked to Mike. I had not really conversated with him other than just the transaction of getting drinks. And then, so when fast forward, we're at JSP, Mike does come up to our table, definitely very flirty. He said, I'll never forget, he said he really liked our like style, me and my friends. He really liked our style, and he called us hot and spooky piercings. And it's because we all have nose rings. I don't know. And so, I saw all that stuff going down and saw how they were like now approaching us. Since it was later in the night, I'm sure they'd had a lot more to drink by then. And I tried to warn those girls. Okay. I tried to warn them. I told them, I said, we served them earlier. They were at our bar. You probably shouldn't mess with any of them. They're probably all married.
Oh. So they tried to go to the same bar without their wives that they had just been there with their wives? Oh dear.
They are in town for the Lineman Rodeo. I don't know what they've told you so far, but here's what I know. Just trying to help you out, girl, because I don't know if you want to open that can of worms. So with that being said, I just wanted to just say that I feel like maybe that whole video is not necessarily a missed soulmate thing. It was made to expose Mike because I exposed Mike at the bar. So I don't know. That's just my thing. That's just what I saw. Also, Holden, if you have a girlfriend, I mean, we still don't know. We still don't have a clear answer on that. So we would, we would like to know, I think. And then to Laura, I am so sorry, honey. Nobody deserves that. That is probably one of the most horrible things that somebody can do to somebody. But I will say this, that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So I hope that you kick that man to the curb and take all his money. So anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.
So he's a cornball. He's cheesy. She doesn't look like she works at Hot Topic to me. She looks pretty average to me. I don't mean that as in not pretty. I mean that as in, I'm not thinking of the word I want. Like alternative. She doesn't look particularly alternative to me to warrant spooky piercings. So Mike, to me, sounds like he's probably from a small Christian white town. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm just saying specifically as his exposure to women, people who look different than him, because it's it's a small community. Everyone goes to the same church. Everyone goes to the same school growing up. So they adapt. The styles don't vary. You know what I mean? For a bartender who looks pretty mundane to me, as far as like alternative looks go, she looks average to me. Okay, she has on a low-cut top right now. She looks cute. But to me, this is not particularly risque, alternative, spooky, or I didn't even notice she had a nose ring. What is a lineman rodeo? Pardon me, I'm not from the South. Lineman rodeo. The lineman rodeo is a competition for the world's top linemen. Okay, linemen are these men working on poles and stuff, electric wires, featuring events based on traditional lineman skills and tasks. Lineman, I figured, is somebody who does hard manual labor. I didn't know specifically what kind of machinery or whatever, but I could put that together, you know? Why did I think these linemen were coming together to ride bulls and horses and stuff? The first rodeo took place in September 1984 with 12 teams from Kansas and Missouri. Wait, what kind of games? Or what kind of... Okay, they compete climbing up like electric poles. Okay, got it. Look. Could that possibly be an event for a spicy woman looking for an evening? It's like, I could see that like as if you're going to some kind of Navy event or military event where lots of men are there. It sounds like an event that Blanche Devereaux would enjoy, okay?
And me.
Maybe. But I've heard rumors about linemen and firemen, just blue collar workers in general. These men are married and they are looking for a good time. They cheat on their wives. It's not uncommon for these type of men to cheat on their wives. And look, this bartender said, Cheyenne, I told you that those men were married. And not only that, somebody went and found a picture that Michaela and Cheyenne posted earlier that night that said, this is before they met Mike, okay? Like right before. I know a weak man and an insecure woman hate to see us coming. What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean?
A weak man. It kind of seems to imply that they were looking for trouble that night. And you didn't care if the trouble you found was married or not. And look, do I like the way that the internet goes after the woman and not the man? No. But the man is not on the internet. You guys are. And so you're getting the comments and the backlash. And another thing I didn't like about their explanation video is Michaela saying, so let's just capitalize off this moment.
And we're willing to answer questions. We just wanted to do it all in one place because even though people have pointed out everything that we've said in the pictures and videos, everybody wants a follow-up. Everybody feels like we owe them a story time. Story time. Here's your follow-up. We hope. Please just stop bullying us online. Be nice to Laura. Keep sending her encouraging messages. None of that bothers us. You don't have to like the way that we handled the situation to understand that we didn't do anything to be hateful. There are no sides here. No, there has to be a team Laura. For sure. Team Laura, but that's not the situation. Nobody was anti-Laura in the first place. But this video is 30 minutes now, and TikTok will only let me upload a 10-minute video, so I'm going to have a time cutting this down. So we're going to go, but we hope that you stay and hang out, or any of this might even happen. We've been entertaining the idea of a podcast, and we've jokingly said that we need a show. So, allow me to capitalize on this unfortunate situation. Whoever commented that, thank you. You understand and define me. Alrighty. Well, bye guys. We're gonna go hang out. Cheers.
Put down the phone. Here's my advice, Michaela. Going viral doesn't... Going viral is usually unexpected, especially 17 million views. And you can't anticipate what's going to happen afterwards. So am I mad at you for capitalizing off of it? No. But I would stop responding. This is my advice. Let's pretend I am your PR manager. Stop responding right now. Put the phone down. Don't open the comments. Don't do anything. Don't post for like a week, because trust and believe the internet is going to forget all about this in a week. The only affair that people remember by face was that CEO, because the world loves to see the downfall of a CEO. But y'all are just regular people, and they are not even going to remember your guys' names, your faces, and nothing. Give it a week. Don't come online for a week. In a week, post something else. Not talking about this. Post whatever your niche is, and then just move forward. That's what I would do if I was you, and that's the advice I would give anybody. What did you guys think of this story? Do you think Michaela and Cheyenne were looking for trouble that night, that they did not care if they found a married man? Do you think that after they met Mike and Cheyenne was making out with him and they seen his hands, that she at least suspected he was married? Do you think that she posted that video with ill intentions? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, hype, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.